What's going on, everybody? This is Plays and Parlays here. Me and Riaz are back for another Fire 5 on this 5-game NBA slate on New Year's Eve. Starts at 6:30, which is a little awkward, but a lot of these games are going to stay relatively close. There's one game that has blowout potential, and that's the New York Knicks going at the Toronto Raptors. I believe the Raptors around like 10.5, 11-point favorites, depending on what website you're looking at. But we didn't have the greatest of day on NBA today. The last game is still going on as we speak, but I hit on some of my cash game plays. Unfortunately, some of the value plays we gave you guys didn't perform the best. Tyus Jones had a crappy game. Pritchard had a crappy game. Um, but it's a new day for DFS, and we're excited to end this shitty 2020 year right, and we want to win some money. So let's just hop right into it, Riaz. What do you think for this point guard position?
I like Lonzo Ball here. I mean, he's going against the OKC Thunder, and it's it's just one of those pace-up games where there's a lot of points going to be scored. They don't particularly play well against the point guard position, so Lonzo Ball here, and he's been smashing as of late. So you really can't beat the Pelicans getting hot with a very young team who like to run and gun.
Yeah, he had a bad game coming out this last time. He didn't shoot the ball very well, but he hasn't really shot the ball particularly well all year, especially from deep. I don't know. We got to monitor Bledsoe's minutes. If Bledsoe is not playing too hot, looks like they're going to turn to Lonzo here. Lonzo's that type of guy who's going to do it all for you too. I really like Lonzo, especially in a pace-up spot here against OKC. That's a game I'd like to target in general. So Lonzo's nice there at 6'5". Someone I like a little bit higher up is John Wall. We know what he can do. He was an All NBA caliber player. Perennial All Star when he was playing. Not saying he's going to get back to that level, but he definitely has a chance to here. He's at 7-1. I can see his price going up eventually. We're not sure how his minutes are going to be, but this Houston team is thin, so I can see John Wall going out there playing at least 30 minutes tomorrow. So I like John Wall here, and Houston's looking for scores.
Yeah, without a doubt. I love John Wall. He's had what 2 years off now. He's finally healthy. He finally has a unbelievable counterpartner. Not saying Bradley Beal isn't one of the best players, but to have James Harden to kick the ball to, and then in any desperate moment, you're not the one having to take the last second shot. I mean, he's just got so much upside, especially now he's got a great center for Christian Wood down low. I mean, he's got all the what's the word I'm thinking of?
Components.
Yeah, all the components that you just really need. But
Yeah, I think John Wall. He's a good assist guy too. He's gonna do a lot for you out there. We're not super sure on his minutes, but I think that price is nice for him, especially for cash games too. I like John Wall there. Anyone higher priced? We know Harden, has got the potential to smash on any given slate. But how about some of that guy? How about some of the guys in the range of like Lowry, Fox, Shea? Do you like any of them?
yeah, I like Gillisley just because of the matchup. De'Aaron Fox is always a great play, especially going against Houston. You never know how many points they're going to be able to put up. We touched on the Toronto New York game, could be a blowout. We'll have to factor in Kyle Lowry only playing like 20, 25 minutes if it becomes a blowout. And honestly, Donovan Mitchell has just been pretty blah this year. He really hasn't done much, so he's kind of tough to pay up for at 7-6. So
Yeah. Someone I like down here a little bit lower too. Um, we brought you guys to Payton in the first game. Payton had a good game this last time out. He's had back to back two very well games. I think New York's still going to be really thin too. We'll get to that later in the power forward spot, but I think New York's still going to be thin with some of those guards sitting. And I like Payton here. I like that spot for him. Also, someone like George Hill. He's been playing well when he's out there. I mean, I figured he's going to stay around this minutes, 24, 25 the rest of the year. But, even when he was on the Bucks last year, some guy where if he's getting the minutes, he's going to play well. So
yeah,
George Hill did.
without a doubt, that's who I was going to plug in for shooting guard because it's nice he's got that point guard, shooting guard. And if you look at just his last couple of games, yeah, he's only played 24, 25, but he's over 30, 32 DraftKings points every night. So, I mean, his minutes to dollars is unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I like George Hill a lot. Even, in the point guard spot too, or even in the guard spot. George Hill is a great pick. Some of these shooting guards, similar to point guard, there's a lot of point guard, shooting guard eligible people on this slate. A lot of the mid range mid range guys, I'm not super interested in. Lou Dort, he's having a decent season so far. Seems like he's going to play a bunch of minutes. I don't know if I'm going to get to him at 5-1. I think we can do better than that. Reggie Bullock's a guy who's been playing well when he's out there too. So I think you can look at him. He's got 41 minutes last game, and that was in a low scoring affair too. And he played well.
Yeah, I was actually looking at Dort. I don't like his price range at 5-1, but on a 5 game slate, that's kind of where he's going to get priced considering the average fantasy points he puts up and the minutes. But I really like Devin Booker here. I don't know how you feel on him. He started off pretty slow. It's kind of like Durant for tonight. I mean, it was a get right game for him, and he dropped 63 fantasy points for us at 8-4. And you don't really see Devin Booker below 9. So at this price and a pretty easy matchup, I think he's going to smash here.
Yeah, yeah. Booker's someone. I hope he's not too score dependent. He hasn't been this year so far. He's around like 25-5, around that range. He's been getting a steal every game so far. But yeah, we're waiting on that big game from him too. So a lot of these Suns games have stayed. The first two games were stayed really close. The other two not so much. So if this game can stay close, which I think it will, it's a good matchup for him. I think you can see Devin Booker really prove himself in this timeout. We already know he's a special player, but I think he needs to put himself on that platform.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's jump into the small forwards here. What do you think here?
Small forward is always a position like I struggle with a little bit. I mean, it's thin as it is, but the mid range guys not really catching my eye. Ananobi had a good game last time out. He's going to play 36 minutes is what it's looking like. He had 44 DraftKings points. That's fair for him. Yeah, the blowout potential is there. I think he's going to play even if it is a blowout. He's going to be in the rotation for most of the part. Buddy Hield, someone too at 6'8". He hasn't had a great game so far, but he's going to play a shit ton of minutes. I like Ingram here. I know we're paying up for Booker, but I like Ingram here too. And that's a pace up spot. I can't really tell you who to plug in. I'm giving you a lot of good options here. I'm curious to hear what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I was eyeing Buddy Hield. I mean, he's always a great play, especially if you can get him under 7. I really like Baisley. He just does everything. He's a rebounder. He's a scorer. I mean, he looks like he's 7 foot out there, and he plays just like that. And at under 6K, I mean, on a slate like this with a great matchup, I mean, you could see him get 40 DK points for us.
Yeah. A lot of the times he's going to be matched up with Zion or against Ingram. I don't know if he's in the greatest spot, but it is a pace up spot. He didn't shoot the ball great last time at all. He shot 3 for 14. Baisley here, I've been on Baisley all year. Unfortunately, his fantasy points have went down every single game so far, but I don't think that's going to continue. I think he's going to be back in his regular minutes around 33 to 35. And I think they really like this kid too. And I like Baisley here at 5'7". I think that's just about the best you're going to get at value here. Anyone lower, Bullock is someone you can plug in as small forward too. They're thin. Diallo had a decent game out. That's in that New Orleans game. Um,
Cameron
other than that,
Johnson. Cameron Johnson's
yeah,
a good guy to look at too. If you're just kind of looking for someone to kind of squeeze into your lineup late, he gets the minutes. He's pretty productive while he's out there.
yeah, I like Johnson too. I'm waiting for someone on this Phoenix team to just like break out, and have one huge game. I feel like they're all having like mediocre games.
Oh yeah,
Um, I don't like playing him, but JJ Redick's a guy who can get hot too. He's at 3-7. Kevin Knox has been playing. He's not the greatest, but he's at 3-6 on a short slate. He's someone I guess you can look to as a crazy dart throw in a GPP. He's been priced at 4. He should be getting minutes with those New York guys, all questionable or out. Other than that, yeah. Let's just go right to power forward because the small forward position is thin.
yeah. I mean, you got a little. I like the prices here on the power forwards. You really don't have to pay up for anybody here. I like Aaron Gordon here. I feel like he's in a spot where he's just gonna be productive. Philly's not the best against his position. They're ranked 22nd. He's just someone who runs up and down the court all game long. He gets the 30 35 minutes, and at 6,000, really, we only need him to get 30 DK points to hit the 5x we all look for.
Yeah. What scares me with Gordon is he was supposed to play 28 minutes against OKC. He goes out, he plays 22. Against Washington, it's a close game. He only plays 20. That's in the second affair between those two. He did well against Miami in his minutes. He's a decent point per minute guy. Um, but I don't know. I don't mind Gordon here. I think he's more of a GPP play than more than anything. Um, that's if that's what you're looking for. I like Aaron Gordon as a player too. I'm just waiting for him to get healthy. And they said they're going to play him more than what they are playing him, which scares me a little bit. Baisley, he's power forward eligible. Um, Someone who's a crazy GPP play is Chris Boucher.
Oh yeah,
Played
yeah,
played 5 minutes last game. But Philly, you know how Philly is with Embiid. Boucher is a thin guy. He's not really much. He's not gonna. That's an easy matchup for Embiid going against Boucher. So they're not gonna really look to him there. New York, I guess you can say Mitchell Robinson's a decent threat down there, but when he played in 28 minutes, he had 7 blocks. Boucher did. So he's a crazy player when he's out there. Will they play him? I don't know. That's something you got to monitor, and maybe we'll hear more news about that as tip off comes around. He's decent there. Other than that, too, I think the position is just thin. I like Zion there too. That's in that game we're targeting. But my top guy is Randall. I've been playing Randall since he's been hot all year. I played him the first 2 games. He didn't play great, but the second two, um, he played fantastic. He's up to 8-8, but this is a short slate, like we said. So 63 and 61 is crazy fantasy point production for him. And New York is thin, and they're going to need scoring, and he's been there for him. So I like Randall here too as well.
yeah. He's been absolutely smashing as of late, which is great because on DFS you just want to keep playing the hot hand until he fails you.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I don't know who do you have plugged in so far?
So I have Lonzo Ball, Reggie Bullock, Brandon Ingram, and Julius Randle.
Okay. Um, if you were to plug in at the guard, if you were to plug in John Wall, and then if you go to utility and plug in uh, Hill, George Hill,
Mm-hmm. So John Wall
where would
and
that?
utility and type in Hill.
Yeah, where would that leave you?
That would leave us with 5-6.
Okay, that's not bad going into center. Um, someone who caught my eye here at center. He's under that 5-6 range too. I like Cousins here. Not sure how much he's gonna play. But we know what he can do when he's healthy and when he's out there. We've seen All Star caliber Cousins, and uh, 5-6 might be too cheap. We don't know. 5-6 might be too much. 5-6 might be too cheap. He's a GPP play, so I don't know, man. I'm expecting him to play around 25 to 30 minutes. Not sure if they're going to see him and Wood both on the court together. I doubt we see that, but there is an opportunity for that to happen if they want to go big. Sacramento has a fairly decent big lineup with Rashard Holmes and Marvin Bagley, so you never know if they can look to that. But Cousins here at 5 is someone I like.
Yeah, I like Cousins as well. I mean, even with Wood in the lineup, you'll probably never see Cousins this low unless he really just has a bad season. So this is definitely a GPP play, not so much cash unless you know he's going to get the 25, 30 minutes. But at 5,000, I mean, it's kind of tough to pass up.
Yeah, Isaiah Roby too. He's at 4K. He had a sick game last time out there. He had 28 minutes. Yeah, he did great out there too. He was priced at, I believe, he was priced at the men too. Yeah, when he had that crazy game, he was definitely a tournament winner for a lot of people. Whiteside is someone that I don't like to play, but in the thin slate, I wish he played more minutes. But you never know if Holmes gets into foul trouble. That's someone you can look to. As well as Steven Adams is at a revenge game narrative. If you want to look at Steven Adams going back to OKC, so which is not a bad play.
Yeah, I love Steven Adams here. I love the revenge. He's been smashing. He's so consistent with his boards. You know he's gonna get around 7 to 8 boards, and when he does get those, I mean he's averaging 8 and 8, and at 5-7, I mean that's basically what you need, and it's revenge. I mean he's gonna want to stick it to him, you know. And you can pay up for center here, but I feel like there's a lot of other spots you can pay up for. And if you are going to go cheap in the center spot, I mean, Aaron Baines is always a great play, especially against New York, who's pretty thin. They're 29th against centers. I mean, he's just a great play. As long as he gets the minutes, I mean, you really can't beat that price.
Yeah, yeah. He's good too. It depends if Robinson's going to stay in the game. If Robinson stays out of foul trouble, I think they're going to turn to Baines more. Um, because they're going to need his presence down there. Holmes and Bagley are just as consistent as Adams too, and they're priced lower than him. Holmes has been putting up almost identical numbers to Adams. But Bagley's the type of guy too who's everyone's waiting to have a huge game. I mean, he's shown glimpses of being great. So I mean, if you're waiting for Bagley to have a big game, this is a nice pace up spot against Houston too. So I like Bagley.
Yeah, I think this is a great slate to end 2020. I hope you guys all have a safe New Year's. You guys enjoy, and I hope we bring you some money